There are two things you probably hate doing: waiting and losing. Well, if you're a woman and you're not investing, you're doing both right now. You could actually be losing about $100 a day by waiting to invest. It's like a crisp new Benjamin flying out the window every day. Okay, here's some good news. Ellevest is an online investment platform for women where you can invest in specific life goals such as buying a house, starting a business, or retiring your way on your terms. Ellevest gives you a free, customized financial plan based on goals you choose, shows you how much money to invest every month until you reach those goals, and sets up recurring deposits to help you stay on track. All you have to do is get started. The Great Girlfriends listeners receive $100 towards your first funded goal when you sign up with Ellevest. Visit ellevest.com/girlfriends. That's ELLEVEST.com/girlfriends.
Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. We're your hosts. I'm Sybil Amuti.
And I'm Brandis Daniel.
And we have a new guest great girlfriend, Miss
Lucinda Cross.
Hey! Party over here, party over here, party over here. So, y'all, before we got on, Lucinda was like, hold on a second, child. Let me get to a quiet spot. She goes jogging. It felt like you went a mile, Lucinda. Like, she went down like 5 floors in her house, and then she jogs across, like, the pasture to the car.
Oh, my God.
It was so funny. I love it. How are you today?
I'm good. And after all of that, to get into a noisy spot, when we finally running, do all that running to get to a noisy spot, I'm so done. But I'm just glad to be here.
Oh, you were really cute running, for the record. You were so cute running.
I was.
You were cute. You were so cute. Thank you so much for taking our time. I know this was like, we kept trying to figure out the date that was going to work. And when you and I were hitting each other back and forth, you were immediately like, let's record. Yes, let's do it. Say when. And then, Irma and Harvey and everything else in between just kind of shifted time and dates for you. So, but I think this is all divine.
Yes, it is.
I really do. I think this time is perfect.
That's the only answer. When you are faced with any kind of storm, natural, spiritual, it's got to be divine.
It's got to be divine. I agree. So, Lucinda, we don't ever like to give bios, right? So, I mean, we've had some amazing women on. We never tell their bios. We let them just dive right into their bio. And we start with our favorite line.
Who is Lucinda Cross?
Oh, and that's my favorite question, because it's so many levels to me, and it makes me who I am as a woman as a whole. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 3. I have a bonus through the marriage. I'm a businesswoman, and I'm a girlfriend, right? I'm a great girlfriend, right? And I'm also this entrepreneur that refuses to take no for an answer.
Nice. I mean, you're an activator. You have activated.
How could I not add that? The chief activator at that.
You know, I'm like, we really not gonna talk about the vision boards and the activation. Okay.
Right, yes. The vision board queen, the activator, yes.
Yeah. And the transformer.
Yes.
Yes.
Look at Sybil adding to your bio.
She better go ahead. And do that.
No, but you are all of those things. And I met you through same great girlfriend, Kristen Pope, who introduced, right? She is like America's favorite. She is. When we met and we connected at your Activate conference in Washington, D.C., and I was just absolutely blown by your presence. I was blown by your authenticity. I was blown by how you were shooting cash out that machine on the stage. I was like, yes, flip it up, toss it up. I was blown by it. And I was blown by how everything for you was so real. Everything was so tangible. I felt like every word you said I could touch. And I knew how much that experience meant to you, but I knew that you didn't just land on that stage. And our great girlfriends sometimes feel like they just want to, if I just land in this moment, then everything will be just fine. And sometimes people forget that there's a journey, and there's lots of odds. There's lots of adversity. There's lots of setbacks. But those of us that journey understand that, it takes a lot for us to get to where we're going, and we never just stop. You never stop. And so we want our great girlfriends to hear some significant pieces or odds that you faced over the years to even build. I mean, you've been on TV. You were just on the show on Centric it was earlier this year. That was earlier this year. And your vision board activation kit is around the world. So, I mean, we're seeing you touch lives. But I don't know if the girl Lucinda always knew she could do that, or was this something that you were just like, I'm working towards? How did you get to where you are?
It's through just a hunger and a passion and a drive for more, and honestly being the best kept secret, and trying to figure out how can I get from being the best kept secret. Throughout my life, it was always, and I can't say, oh, well, I came from the project, so I didn't have, but it was a mindset that I had from being in the projects, being raised by a wonderful woman. Although my stepfather was there, I still watched my mother pull through and do what she did, become a super mom. And, for me, being that best kept secret, it was constantly others trying to put shade over the little bit of light that I was trying to shine, because I really needed that light to believe that I could be somebody. I was the black sheep of my family. Wasn't the popular girl in school. Didn't have many opportunities because I didn't really believe in myself at that time. And the moment that I did finally get excited about the little things, from, being in school and getting into sports, or, starting different things, it would always be, well, we can't have Lucinda. We don't want them to know about her. They know about her. And for me, it was, listen, I'm just trying to eat. So from that, from having the struggle mentality, from being the best kept secret, I made some unfavorable decisions in my life. And based on those unfavorable decisions is where I found my strength, if that makes sense.
Lucinda, let me ask you, why do you say people want you to be the best kept secret?
Well, I was considered the best kept secret because I would play the background. And why would people want me to be the best kept secret? We getting deep now. Girl, let's get some tissues. So, why would I feel as if people want me the best kept secret? Is because I just could never, I felt as if I could never get to the top or be a part, because it was something that I had that other people seen in me, and I didn't know that I had it, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you don't even recognize the thing that other people see in you, how great you are and how powerful you can be and what you can really bring to the table, even as a young person. I remember, going back with double dutch tournaments. It's like I knew tricks. I spent time doing certain tricks that when it was time for the competitions and the tournaments, your girl was ready to do a cartwheel flip all in it. But let's not have Lucinda start, right? Because we don't, and it prevents everybody from winning, right? Because if we recognize the light in somebody else, it can be our benefit at the same time. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I mean, I was just wondering, was it family? Was it friends? Was it people at school?
It was everybody in my neighborhood with the scarcity mindset, because that the projects cultivate that kind of scarcity mindset, and then it's within the schools with the scarcity mindset of the have and the have-nots, the popular and the unpopular, the cool and the uncool, quote unquote. So I had to push past people. That's where my strength came from. Pushing past other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, what they consider that I should do and shouldn't do. And even from my own family, family would put certain, expectations on me, and that's not me. Every woman in my family is highly educated, multiple degrees, and their life is based on high education, but a lot of them weren't happy. They weren't pursuing their passions and their dreams. And I didn't want to, that's not what I wanted to do in my life. And because I want to go against the grain, let's not focus on, it was one of those things, let's not focus on the talents and the gifts that she does possess, since she doesn't want to follow suit. We don't want anything to do with her.
Let's talk about that struggle mentality, because when you said that, I thought, I was like, oh, that's such a huge piece of what keeps people set back, and what really presents most of the obstacles that we face is our struggle mentality. What was your struggle? What was the thing that you believed that caused the struggle for you? I hear what other people believe, but what was it that you took on?
That you needed to struggle in order to be successful. And struggle was a part of life. And a struggle was a part of, you're always going to have to hustle and grind, and you always got to stay at the bottom and grind and hustle and hustle. And so because I've seen that within my own household, it was a struggle to get the little bit of things that we did have. It was a struggle to get past certain things. And so that struggle mentality, regardless, even though my atmosphere changed from being in the projects and going to a public school to now, I was going to a private college where there was unlimited opportunities and a whole different set of people. I still had that struggle mentality that it has to be hard in order for it to be great. It has to be hard in order for it to work. I'm always going to have to struggle and fight to make it work. And that's not the truth. Those were limiting beliefs that I carried on with me because of where I was from and, the life that I was seeing around me.
So when you talk about those bad decisions, the ones that took you off course or took you on a detour, can you share with some of our great girlfriends? Share with your take your pick. But can you share with us just a little bit about that detour?
So, there's so many pivotal moments that we all have in our life that make us who we are. And we're able to look at those pivotal moments as lessons of growth, and lessons and strength that gives us our superpowers that we have. We're able to do amazing things. And so one pivotal moment for me that is the reason why I'm even here speaking to you ladies today is probably because of the bondage. Activate was birthed out of bondage, and what I mean by that, the decision of putting success in my own hands, not relying on God, not relying on the process, not willing to do the work. I wanted it easy, and because I didn't see my future coming fast as I thought it should come, where I could get out of the quote-unquote struggle mentality, I said, well, let me take the easy road. The easy road ended up being the hard road. 19 years old, in college, going to be a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer. I was excited about that vision and that dream. No one I've ever met or known has ever been grown up around has been a lawyer, so this was like something new for me. And being approached by someone that I respected, right, because they represented what success looked like in my community, and saying yes to an opportunity that I thought was an opportunity at that time, to travel, to go to third world countries, to carry a suitcase, to not ask any questions, but to retrieve money when I finished. So for me, $10,000, $15,000 for a 2-week trip to Thailand and back, I haven't been to Long Island. I haven't been to, I haven't been to Staten Island. So to me, I'm like, shoot, I haven't got, like, this is great. So for me as a freshman in college, coming from the projects, never seeing any real money, not willing to do the work, dealing with low self-esteem, having all of those emotions and feelings and limited beliefs surface from, oh, well, you're not good enough. Oh, you're not, this is not for you. Maybe you need to try a different route, and allowing that to say, I'm going to say yes to this. And I said yes a couple of times to the wrong opportunity out of desperation. And that's what many of us have to be careful of, is where is our yes coming from? Is it coming from your determination or desperation? And my yes came from desperation, wanting to see a change in my life and my family's life, wanting to make a difference in my community and in my household so my mother wouldn't have to struggle, and actually holding on to $10,000 of cash, $15,000 of cash. I've never seen that before. And that, yes, 1 trip, 2 trips, 3 trips, 4 trips, 6 trips in, I'm no longer in school. And now there's the FBI knocking on my door to tell me that I'm a part of something bigger than I could even think or imagine. And that shifted everything for me because I end up serving 4.5 years in federal prison behind it. So as my peers are graduating from college, I'm graduating from prison.
Wow. Lucinda, you got me over here.
Go ahead, sorry.
Every time I'm like, okay, tears. Because, it's just like that. Just an instant, one decision. And like you said it so well to say, is your yes coming from determination or desperation? Totally different outcomes. Because I'm seeing you on the track of your determination, yes. But I understand completely, clearly, the desperation and how it leads people to make those decisions. We've all been there.
And a lot of people are not willing to do the work, and I didn't want to do the work. That seemed too long for me to go to school and read books. So here I am, and I talk about it, here I am, I'm watching kids drive to school, and I'm taking the bus, sometimes even walking, afraid to ask my mother for money because I have 3 small brothers she's caring for. So the oldest, unfortunately, in my household was the last. And so it was just a track record, and I used my naiveness and I've used my limited beliefs to justify the reason why I need to go on another trip and why I need to carry another suitcase. And that was false. And you can't live life like that, like trying to take the easy road out, because you'll incarcerate yourself voluntarily every single time. And it could be mental incarceration, it could be a relationship incarceration. You can find yourself even in spiritual and religious incarceration because you feel that you need to do this and do that. And that was a game changer for me. And you could imagine, for me to come home and not really see a real role model and mentor, because everybody was going through their drama and everybody's trying to figure out what they need to do. And I had to start over. I had to go back to college. I had to restore my relationships with my family. I had to, just get myself together. And one thing that I told myself is that, I refuse to be a statistic. Society counted me out, and they had every right to count me out because I'm an individual who didn't want to do the work. That's a dangerous mindset, right? But I had to prove that, listen, if I could be the best of the best, and we all can, the best of the best or the worst of the worst, and it's up to me whether I can be the best of the best. And that's what I work towards every single day, because I know what it's like to smell fear and doubt in 4 walls. I know what it's like to watch people fight for limitations and lack. I know what it's like to watch people fight for food, and fight for attention and TV time and bathroom. I had to fight for a shower, right? And so I'm a young girl in the midst of this prison. My first experience, I haven't stole a bubble gum, a barrette. I worked for everything that I had in my life. But my mother said, man, when you do it, you sure do it big, Lucinda, because she said you just couldn't do a little baggies and sell little tray bags at that time, for all those people who want to be real. In my name, it was tray. You couldn't just put the tray bag. You had to go carry a suitcase of heroin. Girl, you do it big when you do it. Good Lord. She said, imagine if you use those same skills, talents, and abilities of being fearless and determined and focused, and I'm going to make it. And put on, I put on a whole facade. And a lot of us are great with putting on a great facade. I put on a facade that I am this model, that I am legit, and I'm not carrying anything. And mentally, I was able to channel my way through and get past trouble where I could have been arrested and locked up in Thailand, in Mexico. There were times where my suitcase was taken and torn up, and it was just, it goes to show you how strong your mind can shift everything around you. So I have no choice but to be authentic now. I have no choice but to be true. I can smell the BS and the excuses a mile away, because I could have made excuses on why I shouldn't have wrote a book. I could have made excuses on why, hey, well, I used to be fearful. Oh, if I get on TV, they're going to show my mugshot. Oh my God. And going through the drama of wanting to put down opportunities because I didn't want people to know about my past.
Mm-hmm.
But so what? That's who I am. That's what makes me an activator, because there's no one, there's no one or no thing that can stop me but God.
Yeah.
And being able to use your story, the thing that you think would take away opportunities, using that thing and putting it out front and saying, this is why I am qualified. So often we think certain things disqualify us, but those very things that we think disqualify us could be like, and normally it is the thing that qualifies us. When you think about people's stories, and when you talk about Oprah Winfrey, or people talk about Tyler Perry, what do they talk about? Oh, he was homeless. So the thing that he could have been embarrassed about was the thing that really, that creates the story for him. And it's like that over and over.
That's right. If I, how many times I've spoken, I don't care how many times I share the story. And it was a point where I was like, God, all right, I'm not sharing this no more. I have other testimonies of how good you are. But when I share it, somebody walks up and says, I did the same thing. I just didn't get caught. Or I know or I was going to give up on my daughter because she's in this situation. And I remember when I went to LA and I was talking in LA, these two girls came up to me. I'll be brief with it. They came up to me. They were crying after I shared it. I wasn't going to share my story. It wasn't a part of my presentation. But I said, you know what? I feel led to just share this piece. And when I did, the two girls walked up. One of them ran out crying, storming. She said, my friend thinks that I told you what we were about to do next week. We've been positioned to go. It's hard being an actress. We're just starting out, and we were going to go transport some drugs. And she feels like I told our business, but I thank you for telling this to us, because we're going to decline what we were going to do next week. And I said, listen, if we didn't connect today, you may have been behind bars reading my book. You heard it live. Say no to the opportunity. So when we don't share our stories, you never know who you can change. Somebody can be getting hurt because you're not sharing your story. Somebody can be getting ready to end their life because you don't share your story. It's not about the pity of the story or the, oh my gosh, look at this. It's more so, you can get out of this, and this is how I was able to get out of it. This is how I changed my mind. This is how I got out of a bad relationship. This is how I overcame finding out about a terminal illness. This is how, so it's more so the overcoming that helps people in our story, the power in our story, versus the pity side. And we all have to share it, because we all have one, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a sad one. We could say how we just stayed focused and was straight A's and walked that straight line, and how it helped us, but the story is important.
So when you...
I can't with y'all faces. Y'all faces.
Girlfriends, if you can see us now, we are hanging onto her bottom lip.
Lucinda, we are. These faces.
We are hanging on. Lucinda,
I feel like I'm watching a movie.
I'm like, so when is this coming to film? Like, how are we going to get this to the screen? But Lucinda, I'm
trying.
It's going to happen.
It's not just for me to show me, but there's so many women with stories of the things that they've done. These girls have no clue that these guys, they are out at these colleges looking for these young girls, and then there's also what goes on inside the system that is not told. Some things I should not have experienced. I mean, we need a whole nother podcast session for that, but it's
wow. So this is, that's what I want to know, Lucinda. In those 4 years when you were against those odds, what were you telling yourself that allowed you to be where you are today? You sustained some mental capacity, strength, resilience. What is it that you told yourself at that low?
The first thing that I had to tell myself, because as soon as I was transferred to Chicago, where the case was from, I had to be placed in solitary confinement, because they weren't sure if I can go upstairs with the 28 other co-defendants who were from Nigeria and London, and here I am, the only American on the case. So I said, God, I'm here in solitary confinement. and you hear men and women and cops, dirty cops and old gang members, everything. It's a mix of everything down there. And I said, God, regardless of what I go through, please keep my mind. Please keep my mind. And that's all I said. And it was through Iyanla Vanzant books and Tony Robbins, and I always was someone who, even as a young girl, 16 years old, reading Iyanla Vanzant books, attending her workshops at that time, watching Tony Robbins, doing journals, a whole bunch of stuff. So I was already had a certain level of consciousness, and so inside, I just started to channel that to build a strong mind. Heavy meditation, lots of prayer, and lots of journaling, and even just vision boarding. My mother was a psychology major, so she would always, you got to think beyond where you are. You got to think beyond where you are. What does that look like? What does it sound like? Give the energy. Get the energy. You need to be there, Lucinda. It's not about where we're at. Where are you going? And so that is what I had to pull into. My mother's psychology test, I was like her lab daughter. And so her reports were, Lucinda, I need you to read this book. I need you to read this report. What do you think? What do you see in the colors? Why did you use red in your colors instead of yellow? So everything was like overanalyzed in my house with my mother, but it came to my benefit inside because now I'm able to meditate on different colors and different lights to build my energy. It's not where you are. It's it's not where you are. It's not what they say. It's where you're going. This is not going to be forever. And that's what kept me. That's what kept me. And also realizing when I did get to connect with the other ladies that were up there, they were a family. They were Nigerian women who believed in culture and family. And no, we didn't know each other, but they accepted me in. And they showed me how we can, the importance of praying, the importance of cleansing, and so it was a whole spiritual transaction that was going on when I finally connected with my other co-defendants.
Wow.
And they raised me while I was in there, and they protected me while I was in there. I was one of them, so.
Wow. Every single piece that you said, you told yourself, we can carry into any prison that we're facing. The prisons you mentioned earlier, the spiritual, mental, physical, whatever they are, we can take those pieces that you used while you were incarcerated and we can plug that into any modern day environment. And, how do you define adversity now? Yeah, I'm sure before adversity, was something totally different. What is adversity to you now?
It's conditioning. And so I'm conditioned to handle adversity. I can't think of anything that I haven't been hit with yet. And I thank God for things that I don't even know of that I've just been blessed to not be hit with. But from the prison to the losing my mother unexpectedly and never having closure, in 2013, in the very first year of me planning my very first conference with my mother, and then she leaving Mother's Day weekend. So it is spiritual conditioning that I had to do and mental conditioning. So adversity, I eat that for breakfast. It's like, what are you bringing on? Like, seriously, okay, you're gonna knock. So the people who are coming to my conference are so off the chain and so powerful that you had to bring Irma. That's powerful. I love that. You couldn't even just do a regular rainstorm. These people are so powerful. You had to bring a hurricane.
Right.
That's deep. Now you let me know how hot like fire we about to be, right? So adversity is something that is always going to come. It's always going to come because this is life, right? And it's just a matter of how do we look at this adversity? Do we look at it as, is this a lesson? Is this an obstacle that I need to overcome? Or am I just being beat down? Why me? Why me? Why me? And we can go through that. I'll go through that for about maybe, 2.5 seconds. And then I got to jump back out and say, all right, how are we going to overcome this? What's the strategy? What tools did you use before? Because this looks similar. The funny thing about adversity, it's really never the same when you look at it. It always has some kind of similarities to it. And when you realize that the similarities in it, just like, people say with, adversity, period. It's always some similarity. So it's like, oh, you put on a new face, a new situation, a new date, this looks like 2008. How did I handle that time? Because I'm about to knock you out again this time, right? And so it's just really looking at adversity and seeing where's the root coming from. You'll realize that it's an artificial seed that needs to be plucked.
I love it.
So good.
Lucinda, girl.
I know. Lucinda says she can't take our face.
We hardly have words right now.
I hardly have words. I'm so blown right now. I really am. There's so much to get out of this, and there's so many layers that I don't even know, honestly, where to even start. But I do want to know, with everything you've gone through, how have you kept yourself, I don't want to use the word mentally strong, but what have you done to take care of your emotions? Like, what in the world did you do to be able to emotionally say, I'm going to love, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have children? Like, after all of these things you've dealt with, how did you transition? Because I'm assuming that when you came out and when you went through that, there had to be, I would assume you weren't in the best emotional place. So how did you get to a place where you could love and where you could open yourself up to relationship?
I had to embrace gratitude. And look at how I can be grateful. I started a gratitude jar, and I would put things that I would be grateful for inside of it. I was a very emotional person, and still am. I'm a waterhead, I just, I'm an emotional person, but managing those emotions is what's key, and not letting them get the best of me, not becoming an emotional basket case where you're super sensitive and you're taking everything personal. I'm past that. I have so much thick skin that it's like, Lucinda, you didn't realize she just put the knife in your back. I'm like, oh, she didn't mean it. I think she tripped. I'll take the knife out. So I'm that. It's like, well, really, I mean, she just swiped her whole website. It's like, maybe she didn't really mean to do that. So that's the kind of mindset that I have. It's like, well, she's lacking creativity. I'll reach out to her. It's not a problem. So it's one of those things. Oh my God. But with managing my emotions came from looking for, really just being grateful. And when coming out of prison, I was super grateful and I was ready to just seize the world. And every time that I would look at an accomplishment, I would celebrate it. So I managed those emotions by celebrating the small successes and not so much looking at the big success. Just even the smallest thing, getting the job interview, Lucinda, celebrate. Getting the second call back, I would celebrate. I mean, when I was on Dr. Oz, after Dr. Oz, I'm on the show like I'm interviewing him. But after that, I threw a big networking celebration, right? Because to me, I like to celebrate these moments in my life because there were so many times that, it was toleration, not celebration.
Right.
I love it. For our great girlfriends who would love to connect with you, Linda, why do I give you 5 different names, Lucinda? We need to hurry up and get to nickname status so I can cut down. But no, I want our great girlfriends that can get involved if it's not too late. And great girlfriends, just so you know, Activate was scheduled in Miami during, was it Irma? It was Irma. Mm-hmm. And so you've moved it now to November, correct?
Yes.
And so Lucinda's conference, is it sold out?
Well, we're making a big shift with everything. Okay. So it was sold out in Miami. Mm-hmm. We'll see. We definitely are going to have it open for New York, and we're actually looking for a bigger venue because there's so much love coming from the New York tri-state area. So I'll definitely let you ladies know about it. But the site that they can keep an eye out is activateconference.com, and we'll make sure the ladies get in for super great girlfriends, like 50% off rate, because we just love them. So.
Oh, thank you. That's so awesome. Y'all better get busy on that.
So when Lucinda gives us that, we'll update our notes.
Yes.
Right? We'll and then if we have it in time, we'll send it in our newsletter.
Yes, we can. Lucinda, okay, so, I mean, I don't want to let you go, but I know we have to, because y'all don't understand. Her husband's so awesome. He probably standing outside the car. He's waiting on you to finish this interview. He's so good. He's so awesome. But I want to make sure they can keep up with you on social. That's so important. And then they can just get updates from you. And most of our great girlfriend listeners are probably already connected to you, but let's just give them your info again.
Absolutely. I would love for them to check me out at lucindacross.com. We have a wonderful freebie there, lucindacross.com/freebie. And I love to play on Instagram. That's Lucinda Cross. You'll see it says Lucinda Cross OTT, but I'm there in white. So connect with me on Instagram and just let me know you're a great girlfriend so we can stay connected.
Awesome. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you too. We always close by thanking our husbands. So, Kwaku, I love you.
And Rich Daniel, thank you, babe.
And Bayo, I love you.
He gets a triple clap today.
I know.
And then we thank our kids, Sam and Dylan. We love you.
And Miss Sky, love you, babe.
And you, Lucinda.
And Zaire and Khalid and Cam.
Are they all boys?
3 boys and 1 girl.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
you got a nice tribe. And great girlfriends, thank you for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter. Make sure you listen each Wednesday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Republic, Podcast Bean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and every other podcasting service. Be sure to check us out on social, on Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends.
on Facebook,
The Great Girlfriends.
on Twitter,
_Great GFS.
and make sure that you join our Facebook community, The Great Girlfriends.
Absolutely.
Make sure you post your questions online. You share with your friends. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil.
I'm Brandis.
And I'm Lucinda.
And we're signing off. Peace.